How's it going, guys? Andy here from 4K Downtime, back at you with another ranting. Not the kind of video that I would love to do, but at the end of the day, what needs to be said has to be said. So, regarding the topic today is Resident Evil 7 coming onto the Nintendo Switch for a cloud version. So, in case you don't know what that is yet, a cloud version in this case here is like you download a very small file and then you basically stream the whole game from Capcom server. So you never actually physically own it, and worst case of all is that you have to be connected to the internet at all times. So if you don't have a solid internet connection, basically you can't play it, or if you're playing it and your internet gets cut out at any point, then that's it. You have to get connected again and then relaunch it again and then try to connect to their servers and then continue playing. Now, first of all, I want to start off with the good in this. I know it's technically a rant, but in every news I tend to find the good and the bad. In this case, the bad obviously far outweighs the good, but the good part is that I could see some third-party developers trying to put in more of the heavy hitters using this service, where they actually can't physically either downgrade it enough to fit it on the Switch cartridge or whatsoever. This will be a good solution for it to be played like that. Any games that they felt like, okay, it's just too much for us to port it over, alright, we'll create a server and then Switch owners will be able to download it and play it that way. So I felt this might be an interesting solution to that, although that's not my preferred method to doing it. I would much rather if they would just find a way to, if you really can't do it, then, well, we just couldn't do it, because obviously due to the Switch's power not being on the same level as Xbox One and PS4. So in that sense, I felt like, okay, it could be an interesting solution, but in RE7's case, that's really not it, because RE7, for starters, I'm sure all of you guys know, it's a single player based game only, and in that sense here, I kind of felt like this is one of those games that shouldn't necessarily require us to be online all the time, but because it's part of the cloud, it is, despite being a single player game. With this, it's like, first of all, most of the fans, who's been clamoring for RE7 to be on the Switch, why did they want it? I'm sure you guys all know the answer to that. The only reason why we want certain games that we really want to be on the Switch is because of the Switch's appealing feature, being able to take it on the go anywhere you want and play it anywhere you want. By putting Resident Evil 7 on a cloud service, automatically that already takes away the appeal of it. This means that you can't play it when you're traveling, so whether it's on plane, on train, coach, whatsoever, you won't be able to play it that way, because you need internet connection in order to play it. Even if you're at, let's say, a Wi-Fi spot, unless you're telling me that Wi-Fi spot is super fast, super smooth, yeah, you're going to experience quite a few things. And this is something that even if playing at the comfort of your own home, you might encounter as well, like latency issues, textures taking times to load, performance, all of that plays a part depending on how well your connection is. Now, in terms of pricing, they're not asking for a lot. I believe it's about 2,000 yen on the eShop, and that's about almost 20 quid over here, in the UK, and you own it for about 180 days. You're basically own it for 6 months. And that might not seem that bad, because it does come with all the DLCs, the banners, as well as the End of Zoe, I believe, and No More Heroes, Not a Hero DLC. They're all going to be there. So essentially, you are playing the full game, except you just don't have full ownership out of it. But again, in that kind of case here, for someone who already owns it on the PS4, I see no real reason to pick it up again, just purely because in this case here, it's I'm still playing it at my home already. If that's the case, I might as well also play it on the PS4. I mean, the bottom line here is just that if this is going to be going forward, and you're going to see third-party companies use it, hopefully it's only just for online games. If it's for online games, I could at least somewhat understand why. Phantasy Star Online 2 is a perfect example of that. But for single-player games, I just much would have rather if Capcom just simply port it. If you have to downgrade it, so be it. I much rather have a completed version that I could actually either physically buy, or just, even if it's digital only, at least I have full ownership out of it. I'm just not a fan of this kind of practice where you're not necessarily owning the product, and especially for a game like this, that it doesn't really need to have a cloud version in my eyes. But anyway, of course, this is just my opinion. Again, as a rant goes, yeah, like I'm not one of those people like, just goes all ape shit, like, over something like this. I just wanted to obviously offer my opinion of why I think this is wrong. So hopefully guys, you enjoyed it. Comment below and let me know, what do you think about this service? I mean, is it like, a good solution for Resident Evil 7, or would you much rather have a port, an actual port, just a downgraded one like I do? Comment below and let us know. As always guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, consider subscribing and giving it a like. If not, you can hit a dislike. This is Andy from 4K Downtime signing off. Have a good one.